Hi, I'm Joan Newcomb, and today's Mystic Minute is love as consciousness. Consciousness is love. And yet, what do we mean by that? What do we mean by love? Consciousness, which is the essence of who you are, so at your very essence, you are consciousness. And as the greater awareness of consciousness, consciousness is expansive. So it's like the ocean. And with the ocean, it seems impassive. There's no emotion. There's no emotion created by it. It really isn't taking anything personally, and it's not giving anything personally to you. Now, there's a lot of elements with the ocean, like don't turn your back on the big waves. Don't fall off a boat if you don't know how to swim. If you're rowing across the ocean and you lose your hat, you gotta just leave it on the wave behind. If you think of life as the ocean and the waves of energy moving through, and your experience is in your kayak, sea kayak, on the ocean moving through, it's a great way of thinking of yourself as navigating life as consciousness in this flow. So really, as I do this, that denser energy is the focusing of consciousness into form, but our awareness of consciousness and what consciousness is higher, lighter, brighter, vibrant, and outside of form. I've had an experience of lining up fully with consciousness that I can only describe as being in love with God, with my life, and with myself, and not necessarily in that order. And I wouldn't title it as God anymore, because God is such a limiting concept. God personifies it, which brings it into a solid form, and it's formless. It's expansive energy. And I felt enveloped in that love and not lost in it. It's like falling into this expanse of energy, and there's a little bit of fear of like, am I going to lose myself? And then there's an awareness, a stronger awareness of yourself. So when we love as consciousness, it is expansive and it is impassive and it is neutral. It is unconditional in that you love everything and you love this creation and you love you as your creation. There's expansive openness. Loving yourself as consciousness. Suddenly you can love everything that you're creating in your life, even if it seems disastrous. You love yourself in your humanity, you love your foibles, and you're loving yourself through this experience. And it's you, maybe with a capital U like universe, loving you, body, personality. What would your life be like if you viewed things as consciousness? Viewing your life from the perspective of consciousness, having the big picture of how you're navigating through your life. Suddenly you'd go from viewing your life like this, which is that limiting thinking, to this. And actually, not only this, but this. Freedom from limitations. Loving what is. To quote Byron Katie, loving as consciousness doesn't mean that you don't ever get to fall in love. We all love that in love feeling, being in love. It just means you're not going to drown in love. You're not going to get that oh no feeling as you fall over into love with the wrong person. It gives you an experience of being in the flow and enjoying the ride in the ocean and having that greater awareness of how you're navigating and who you are as navigating through life. So what would your life be like if you viewed your life as consciousness and you viewed everyone in your reality from the perspective of consciousness? That means viewing the people you love as consciousness. Suddenly, they're consciousness too, and you can let them go to have their own adventures. You can also view the people that you don't love, people you may even hate, and view them as consciousness, and they're consciousness too. They're engaged in darker behavior patterns. They're navigating a route through life that you wouldn't choose to navigate. And the thing is that when you view it as consciousness, when you view it all as consciousness, you're less engaged with that. There's less influence on you and how you're rowing your boat. So you're rowing your boat through the ocean. Your loved ones are all paddling over there, rowing their boats through the ocean. There's somebody, in a barge, World War II decommissioned vehicle with dead torpedoes. And even if the torpedoes may be live, they're not going to land on your boat because you're at a different vibratory level. You actually don't exist in their reality when you're at this level. I invite you to experience your life as consciousness, experience love as consciousness, make your decisions and navigate your life as consciousness. And as you try this, in a remarkably short time, your life will completely transform. And if you like these videos, you can subscribe to them on YouTube. You can also sign up below to get them in your inbox. If you want to know more, my website is joan-newcomb.com. I have a weekly radio show podcast you can listen to there. I also have a weekly newsletter and blog you can sign up for. You can sign up and get my quiz on what your purpose and passion is, so you can rediscover what your purpose and your passion is. I hold meetups in Seattle, Bellevue, Tacoma, and Olympia, all around the Puget Sound. I also do monthly webinars. Lots of things you can find out there. So my website is joan-newcomb.com, and I'll see you in a couple days for another Mystic Minute.